Heading to Vegas in my blue striped car. She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money, we can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money, we can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. Uno, dos, tres, in my blue striped car. She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money, we can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Well, hi, Miriam, and I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, Diana. Thank you. I'm excited for what we are going to do today.
Yes. Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
And I'm a little sad. There's nobody over in my chat. Nobody's there.
Oh, Anina is in mine. Hi, Anina. Welcome, welcome. They are going to come. They are
Oh,
going.
one person there. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on your channel by accident.
Thank you.
Let me go look
Oh.
at my channel. I'm sorry. Let me go over. Why? I don't know. Let me go look at my channel.
That's okay. Raul is here. Hi, Raul. How
Oh,
are
yes.
you today?
Hello, Pierre Kelly. Hello, Davy Art with a Pen. Hello, Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul.
Okay, we have the two chats divided today. And I'm only see mine. So, hi everyone in Diana chat.
And hello, everyone in Miriam's chat. So, might we play trivia today later with asking trivia
Yes.
questions? I still have the score. Oh, it's gone. I kept it for a whole week.
Oh,
Well, we could start
too
over.
bad.
We should start over.
Too bad. Well, it's very, very cold here, and there is a storm. And I went out with that storm to give a class.
Oh.
And I went back and I said, okay, I was with my clothes were wet. I was like, oh, you see, when you are wet and cold, you don't feel well. So I put my pajama and I went to bed to see the channels. And then when it was 7, here it's 8 now p.m. So at 7, I suddenly came up from the bed. I said, "Ah, I have a stream with Diana today."
Oh, you forgot?
I forgot totally. I need
Wow.
to make up, to change the clothes again, to get everything ready here. It was something. If not for Maxi that helped me, and I brought everything as I do when I am really hurt and tired, and I put everything on my desk and I go out. Oh, the class was so good. I am teaching them jelly plate. So we did backgrounds the last time, and I did some more today to bring because I didn't want to take the time of the class to do backgrounds. And then I teach them how to stencil, how to use a stencil on a jelly plate. And they did really, they engaged with that and they did marvelous things. And talking about limitation, they are a group with limitation. They have invisible illness. So for them to enjoy things they do, it's very important.
Okay. And what you said, they have some limit. They do have. You're working with people with disabilities.
Yes, yes,
Well, that's what we're talking about. I mean, that leads into what our
yes,
topic today.
of course. I think every one of us have like fights inside all the time. Okay, for some of the people, it's very easy to overcome it, and it's part of the life. They don't think about it a lot. They don't have that for a long period. There are other people that are more sensitive. So they really, it's a struggle for them. For me too, I'm one of them. And in order to continue with your life, you need to have some like some things to overcome. You need to do something like really, really on purpose. Let's say so. It's possible, and I think the key here is not to compare yourself even with yourself in another time.
Oh, good point.
So take what you have and see what you can do with that. So I return from that. I totally forget. Then what did I have on hand? I have my jelly plate, not only on hand, but on my mind. So I decided I am going to do something with the jelly plate on the time we talk. So
Oh, okay. Shall I
I'm
say
going,
what I'm? Should I say what artwork I'm working on now?
if you want, of course.
Okay, the artwork I'm working on, maybe two different things at once. It's art art journal pages, and I like to work in a spiral bound instead of the book bound. I have worked on book bound art journals in the past, and then if I want to turn these into a painting, a standalone painting, it's harder to get them out of the book bound. You can cut them out with a blade, but I exacto knife blade, but but that makes it the size go off kilter a little bit. So I now in the future, the only kinds of journals I'm going to buy are spiral bound, and always it's mixed media paper. And I like it because then if I want it to be a standalone painting, I can easily take it out. It's perforated right here, perforated edge right there. Um, for and I that's just the way I'm going to go for now. Even though I've done many book bound journals, art journals in the past. But what I'm starting with is I already started a background. One way that I get rid of extra paint is I on my art journal pages, like here I've already started. When I have extra wet paint on my paint palettes from working on bigger paintings, or I wipe off extra paint, and that's how I don't waste paint. I start backgrounds. I start backgrounds on my art journal, and here I had done a blue background, and it's usually I wipe it off with my on a paintbrush or palette knife. And then I love doing cathartic stream of thought writing, stream of consciousness, stream of thought, cathartic writing. And it's not legible writing, and I don't want it to be legible, but I like it, but I know what I'm saying, and it's just really kind of cathartic stream of thought writing. And already I have done that in the background with black acrylic marker, paint marker, or I could do it with a permanent marker. Right now I'm using a white a Posca, my favorite Posca acrylic.
Oh,
I got a whole set of Poscas now. Now that was one of my birthday Christmas presents, because my birthday's in December, so I celebrate birthday and the holidays together. And
yeah.
and I got a whole. I think this is 20 or 25 all Posca markers.
Oh, wow.
And Posca markers are Japanese. So anyway,
Yeah.
now I'm doing stream of thought, cathartic writing. That's what the first thing I'll be doing. And I like that. People have said it adds a layer of mystery, kind of a layer of mystery to my
Yeah.
artwork. And then I like to, now you see I've cut out a magazine page, and I'm going to paint on top of her, but I'm gonna make this not look like a photograph anymore, or the way I'm gonna paint on her. I still want it to look like a face, but I want to paint on it now, so it's gonna look painterly. It's gonna end up looking like a painting instead of
Oh,
like a photograph right now.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
am doing some backgrounds.
okay, yeah, jelly print backgrounds.
Yes.
What size paper?
Well, I have here the 5x7 jelly plate. So I grabbed some A4 papers,
Okay.
and I did cut them in half, like a regular.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. I cut it in half, even it's not so perfect, but it fits perfect to the size of the plate. So one
Okay.
more. I think I am going to do a green one.
Well, the limitation that I was going to talk about today is my vision. I have a vision disability that I have not had it my whole life. I have an extremely rare hereditary retinal disease that both my parents had to have recessive genes for me to get this. So, and it didn't, and luckily, gratefully, it didn't present itself in childhood like most commonly it will present itself in childhood. And instead, mine didn't. I had normal vision my whole life until my early 40s, and that's when it presented itself. And so with I have impaired vision, and
What
that
what that mean? Like impaired vision in what
well,
way?
that's just my comfortable way of saying it. I don't want to go into the it makes me uncomfortable to
Okay.
talk about what level vision I have. I just like to say I have impaired.
Sorry,
If
I
I have
asked.
to say it technically, all right, I'll say it. Technically, I'm legally blind, but then I have to get into the whole thing about most people think if you're legally blind, you're totally blind, and I'm not.
No.
Legal blindness starts at 2200 vision and goes all the way. It's on the spectrum and goes all the way to total blindness, and I'm at the beginning level of I'm at the beginning level of legal blindness at 2200 vision, which that makes me highly functional, and my vision disability is invisible because I have no mobility issues. I can walk around without a cane or anything. I can walk around. It's only that you only can tell I have a disability because I have to use my magnifying glass, and and on camera my head might get in the way a lot because like if I have to do this face, I might need my magnifier to help me paint in that face.
Mm, I
So
see.
my limit that is a struggle for me and it's a frustration. So to use magnifiers, and there's ways I get around it. Like I work on a bigger face like this is comfortable for me with my magnifiers. A small face like that, like this, just drives me crazy. And I
Oh,
go and I do a hybrid. I do hybrid of digital art collaged into my acrylic paintings.
oh, that's so good that you find something to do with that.
Because when I work on my iPad, I can hold my iPad right up to my face, and I use the Procreate app. It's a highly critically acclaimed app. It's wonderful. I taught myself it. I've been using it for 11 years, and I can hold my iPad right up to my face and do digital art and zoom up if I need to, or use my magnifying glass right up to my iPad and like in a sitting up position instead of like bending over, which is a
Yeah,
strain on your
oh.
neck. And
Anina said that she needed more of the Posca pen, but Jelly Plate is still in the package. Haven't had the time and courage to start. I was so happy to have it, and now I don't open it and use it. And she said, I'm happy, Diana, you found a way and you do art despite all that.
yes, and I think I do it because I had a lifetime of normal vision, and I'm a lifelong artist. I knew I wanted to be an artist since age 14, and I took it seriously ever since age 14. I took it seriously, and I have 3 college degrees in art. So I took it seriously. And so because of that, I'm not willing to give that up because of that, because of my vision. It's a part of me that I can never. It's a part of me that I can never let go, and I don't stop being an artist because of my vision disability. And I have a story to tell you later about an artist who has even less vision than me, named John Bramblett. You could look him up. He's world famous. He was actually on my YouTube channel 3 or 4 times. He's a very humble guy, even though he's kind of famous. He's the world's only blind muralist, and he is close to total blindness. And he paints by touching. He learned. I mean, he was not born blind. In his 20s and 30s, he became blind, and he taught himself how to paint realistic pictures by
Wow.
touch.
Wow.
John Bramblett. He's an inspiration.
Yes, yes, of course.
He has a great attitude. He's really upbeat and everything,
I
positive.
feel that I am whining only. Like my problems are not so big. It's a feeling. It's not that they are not, but I feel that I needed to overcome, or maybe I have the facility or the ability to overcome because I needed to overcome all kind of things since I was little. So you know
Mm.
that bring you some practice. Practice
Oh, yes.
made the master. So
Oh,
I
actually, I did have to overcome something. It was something different. When I was a child, I had a kind of a difficult childhood, and it wasn't my vision back then. You remind me, this is a good point. In my childhood, it was not my vision because I had normal vision in my childhood, but it was something else for 7 years that I had to deal with. It was
wow.
difficult, and for 7 years, and um, that help make me stronger person.
I love this one by itself. I don't know if I want to do something else to it. Love it.
Mm.
Let's do another one with the rests.
I'll check chat in a few minutes, everybody.
Uh,
And then I got to see what I got to check in with what Miriam's doing.
yes, yes. There is okay. Whenever you want to stop talking and let me talk, you can do it.
Oh, oh,
I
you can
don't,
talk now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. So what I wanted to say that remind me so many things already. Uh, you know, everybody have things to overcome.
Oh,
I remember I was so shy with people. I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to be center of attention, but I was very good at school. But I was very good in a sense that I didn't need to sorry to learn or to go home and practice or do whatever because I have that like it was something that I maybe I was born with it, maybe it was my refuge, but I have like instant understanding. That's the thing. When the teacher talked, I already knew. I didn't need to go there several times, so I know that. And that made me stand out. Sorry, like people wanted me to give a lesson because they knew I can do it. They knew I can do it, and they were like they didn't want to. Wow. So they they told me, Miriam, can you give the lesson today? Like volunteer to give the lesson because we didn't study. And I said, wow, wow.
and you were how old?
What?
What age were you then?
Oh, at all ages, but I remember perfectly in geography. Geography, when I was 15, at age 14, before that year, I went with my parents to Europe and many places. But Europe was the key. Why? Because we had geography of Europe this year. So they told me that. So I tell them, okay, I didn't study either, but let me take a look to the book. So I took a look to the book, the part, the several pages that she gave. We were in a break, like the break between classes. So I did that, and I remember things that I saw with my parents when we were in Europe, or in Italy, for instance. So I asked to give the class, and she said, okay, Miriam, come. And I started to talk, and I mixed what I knew about the places because I was there and I paid attention. And then I add in the mix what I read in the break.
Yeah.
And what's so funny, because I really did it a good job, and I took all the class. I did something really long and elaborate, ever what she asked. Not because I wanted to do it by myself and say, "Oh, how much I know," but because I wanted my co-students not to be cold. And I did it several times until the teacher said, no, wait a minute, Miriam, not you. I want another one to come and do the explanation. And it was like fine times, let's say. I remember them, and I that made me like being wanted for the people. But on the other hand, I had problems with that. I couldn't appreciate that at that moment because it was like, okay, what do you need? I am always ready to do something if you need it. But that was it. It wasn't for love. It wasn't for me liking this.
Was it people pleasing?
Um, no, not at that time.
Oh.
I am a people pleaser now. But at that time, it was really more to help them.
Uh, uh-huh.
Like for me, to do that wasn't a big deal because of my intelligence, because of the way I was. It wasn't a big deal. And to give something that it wasn't a big deal for me to them, it was okay. But for them, it was a big deal. And that was happened. So, yeah, this one will be a lead. Wow. I like it, but I don't like it that, but maybe I can cut it. You see? That's everything what we're talking about now. I am doing a gel plate that it's not as I intended because I didn't put it as I needed, aligned, but I need to overcome that because I can use it anyway. I can cut it. I can do so many things. And that's the same. I used to take some example from outside. It's sometimes it's oh, thank you, Anina. Anina says my limitation is depression, so being creative is my antidepressant. Anina, I have the same problem among us, among others. And yes, it's not to have something to do. It's so important when you are depressed, but also it's important to let you or let in itself in yourself to like to hear yourself. That's sorry, it's not so um, so easy to me to talk in English that kind of.
Oh,
So yeah.
I just wanted to say hello to some more people that joined my chat. So let's just say hello to everybody again. Hello, Pierre Kelly. Thank you for subscribing. Nightbot told me you subscribed. Thank you so much. Davey, Art with a Pen. Hello. Grayscale Painting Anthony. Hello. So glad you're here. Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul. Hello. Redheaded Riding Hood. Hello to you. And a shout out to Redheaded Riding Hood. She's a loyal channel member, and her channel is listed down below in the description box. And we can put her chat in later, or if she's still here, she said she was on her way out to go to get ready for work. If you type in exclamation point link, Nightbot will drop your channel link for you, anybody in here. And let's see.
Oh,
And also Pat, oh, but you have to set that up. Yeah. Pat Lamb. Hello, Pat. Good friend. Oh, I just visited Pat Lamb in person yesterday. I met with her for the first time in person yesterday.
wow. That's so neat.
I
How
took
was
her a
it?
gift of a painting. She got to select which painting she wanted, and I took her a gift of a painting of mine.
Oh, so nice. Let's see if I can grab this.
James Money. Hello, James Money. Hi, Lexi. Welcome, Lexi.
Oh, he's here
Wisconsin
also.
Greg. Hello, Wisconsin Greg. Paul, Goswina. Hello, Goswina. Coming to us from the Netherlands. And I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Says Chris is here, and she said that hi everyone. If you feel depressed, please watch the video of the art Sherpa here in YouTube. She mentioned how she ended in hospital due to mania and depression. Do not let it grow big. Find help ASAP. Oh, and she is going back to the classroom. Bye.
Art Sherpa. I've known her ever since I've been on YouTube for 7 or 8 years. The Art Sherpa.
Me too. And her mother Ginger.
Oh yes.
So, oh, from all of them, I love this one. This one is wow. And the thing is, I don't know how I did it. Well, let's change a little
That's
bit.
the thing about jelly printing. So you can end up with some really cool effects, and then you don't know how you did it.
Yes, that's correct.
And the same thing happens in painting. I'm sorry, the same thing happens in painting because you build up layers, and when you build up layers, magical things can happen.
Oh yes. Well, this one, I think it's going with that. So, do you want to let us know more about your how you overcome it?
Well, no, I wanted to talk about John Bramblett.
Okay.
I pretty much talked. I kind of talked more. I talked already. I could tell you more later during the live stream, I guess. I wanted to talk. Yes, I wanted to talk about John Bramblett, the blind. He's the world's only blind muralist, but he doesn't just paint murals. He paints, canvas size, regular size canvas paintings, and they're mostly pretty realistic. Pretty realistic, except, very representational, where he uses very vibrant colors. But he's almost totally blind, and he developed his own method back, and it took him years, I think, to develop this method where every color he mixes it to have a different texture, so that he knows by touch, oh, that's yellow because that's the that paint has a certain texture. So he makes his paints have different textures so that he knows that, oh, that's yellow, that's orange, that's red. And I think I've interviewed him, and he's been on my YouTube channel 3 or 4 times, and my idea, I think, is that he sees the picture in his mind's eye because he was not born blind. He didn't become blind until his 30s or 40s. I mean, 20s or 30s. And my idea is that since he's almost totally blind, I think he sees the picture in his mind's eye, and he knows. It's just remarkable. It's just like he knows where he's putting, and he makes a line drawing, like using computer, and then he makes a raised line drawing on his canvas, so then he can touch it and feel where his drawing is. And I mean, this is not something he learned how to do overnight. He took years to perfect his method of how he still creates representational paintings when he's near total blindness. And you could look him up. His name is John Bramblett.
That's something, huh?
Yeah, the world's only, and also the world's only blind muralist. And he teaches a lot. He teaches a lot around the country and the world, mainly around the country at art museums, teaching people with disability, teaching people with the vision disabilities how to paint.
Wow.
And he's been interviewed by all the major networks, NBC, CBS, all the major media networks have interviewed him. He has a wonderful attitude, wonderful, upbeat, positive attitude.
Oh, Anina said that she just Googled his amazing paintings.
Yeah, amazing paintings.
Yes. She Googled it.
Yep, you can Google him and you'll find him. And
perfect.
You would never know a blind person did them. You'd never know it. You would never know by looking at them.
Yeah.
Well,
my father, that was an artist, he was all his life like, how do you say in English? When you don't see all the colors.
A colorblind.
Colorblind. All his life he was colorblind. And when he was old, that made some interesting things. Like, for instance, once he made for my mother all the kitchen cabinets. Like, he renewed by surprise all the kitchen. And my mother woke up and she went there, and it was all the kitchen orange, but not only orange, the orange that it's in your face orange. Because my father didn't saw that color the same as we saw it. So all his paintings on his scenes were very colorful, very contrasting. I love this one. This is a stencil that Maxi made. Okay. Let's grab some of that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. And Anina says, I saw next to his brush was always his finger on some photograph.
Oh, that's true. He does do that. Yes, whenever he's painting, he has his finger right next to it.
Yes, of course. He need to know where. The more like near that I experienced, I bought a tablet. Those that they were really an expensive one on AliExpress or something like that, and it was a tablet with a pen to draw, and I said, "Oh yes!" Like I now draw in my iPad, but at the time I didn't have it. So when I bought it, and that you needed to put on a computer, and then you saw in the computer. whatever you write on that tablet, but the tablet remain black. You cannot see where you reading, writing, you cannot see it. And it was so difficult to see the screen of the computer and try to draw in a place that I didn't have even I didn't know where I started the line. So that was the experience I had. I couldn't do it. I couldn't follow
That
with that.
that was before you found Procreate app.
Oh, that was before I have even an iPad, some years before. So the only thing I kept from that, I have everything, but I didn't use it. The only thing I kept was the glove. It came with the glove for iPad, and that's the only thing I could do with that. But yeah.
I just wanted quick say Goswina answer her question. Yes, it's I use the Procreate app and it's only made for the iPad or the iPad mini, or you can do it on an iPhone. But and it's practically free, but it's not free. It's like I one time 11 years ago paid $10 and that's it. I don't even pay $10 a month. I don't pay $10 a year. It was a one-time fee of $10, and right now I think it's $15. It's a one-time fee, like around $15 now, and it's critically highly acclaimed and it's outrageously reasonably priced.
Oh yes. I have the iPad now, and I have the Procreate. I paid $10 for the Procreate.
Yeah, a one-time fee, not $10 a month, right? Not $10 a year. No.
Plans. Yes. So let's see where to put that. Let's use this one. We can do it. We can do it. So, Diana, do you want to say more about how to overcome limitations?
Oh, so I
Or
could
do you
tell
think
you. I could tell you what devices I use.
yes?
Yeah. So this is around my neck all day long. This magnifying glass with it has 2 magnification levels here. This is around my neck all day long. It might be for spot checking, might be for reading short amount of text. I also have an Orcam reader in case there's a book, in case I can't get a book in audio. It's a handheld device. It's the size of a lighter. It's just about this big. It's a handheld device. It's size of a lighter, and it takes a picture of the book text and reads it to me instantly. So for books that I can't get in audio, I use that. Or sometimes if I'm exhausted with fatigue with using my eyes, I on a screen on my iPad, I can and there's reading to be done. I can take a picture of it. I mean, with my Orcam reader, and it reads to me instantly. Then also I use a lot of I don't read books too much. If I have to read a book, I use the Orcam reader. I can, because it's more strain on my eyes to do it, less strain on my eyes to do it that way. I can read if I have to, like with this, but it can be exhausting. And then I listen to audiobooks. I love audiobooks. And also, let's see what else I have. This thing. This helps me with my art. This is a lighted magnifier. And it doesn't have enough magnification. Usually it might have just enough magnification. Like, yeah, for doing this size face, yes, this does have, and it puts light right on the spot. Because otherwise, if I go like this, look, my head causes a shadow. It's like I have to get up close, right? And that creates a shadow. So the light is right here, but because I have to get up close, that creates a shadow. So this is excellent. And for this size face, this is excellent I could, I should get, I should be using this today. Yeah, this is excellent for being able to see this. Smaller than this could be like doing the eyes. No, for doing the eyes, I'm gonna have to use my other. I have to use this magnifier for those little tiny eyes. If I want to draw paint over those little eyes, and then I use my iPad. Like I do hybrid of digital. Many times I do hybrid of digital art where I might do the face in my own digital art and
Yes.
create it. I paint it digitally in my own digital art, and then and then and then I print it out and collage it into my acrylic painting. And so I might do hybrids, or I use a magazine picture. I might start with a magazine picture like this, and I'm going to start painting over it more and more layers, so it's going to not even look like a photograph anymore, and it'll look like a painting. And so those are all kinds of, those are things that I do for adapting.
Mhm. I want to show something because it's like a parable. I did two prints here. I used the same stencil to the layer, the last layer, but I used the holes in one of them, and then I used the space between the holes in the other. You see? I used the same color on them. And if you see that where I use the holes, that for me means what we don't have or our limitations, it seems that it's over. You see? It's over the print. But in the place I use my the parts between the holes that could represent the things we did have. If you see that, we don't have, we did have. So it seems to be on the back. And you or the subject are very readable. Even though I did it, the two of them on them, like it's the last layer. So for me, this is very representative when we think or like put the aim, or it's more important for us, our limitations, they will be always in front of us. They don't let us go forward without taking them with us. But when we think on the things we have, those things seems to be pushing us forward, like it happened in this image. So I really have unintentionally have done something that for me give me some element to overcome my limitations. And
Well, we
that's
have a
the way.
question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, please.
We have a question in the chat from Lexi. Lexi wants to know, does our limitations make us feel or make us more isolated, because she's struggling with that her whatever obstacle she's dealing with um, causes isolation for her.
So see the picture, Lexi. In this picture, you barely can see the subject. The subject being us, being isolated by our own limitations. But if we concentrate not in the limitations, but in the space between them, in what we can do, so it pushes us forward and it presents us to the world, like you can see it, the subject. But for me, that was teaching not only today, but especially it was, oh, I did it.
I call that living in the solution, not in the problem. Would you call it
Yes,
that?
it's exactly that.
Oh, and thank you, Paul Sponsor for the Soul, for dropping the interview, one of the interviews. John Bramblett was on my channel 3 or 4 times, and he dropped one of my videos where I interviewed John Bramblett, and we hung out and did art together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, John. So thank you, Paul, for dropping that link of that video link. And I'm gonna highlight on the screen for
Oh, thank you.
I
And
don't
Anina
have
said that I am right.
for your viewers. I'm trying to say for your viewers, they wouldn't be able to copy paste that from the. I'm just gonna highlight that on the screen because just to let them know that I have videos on my channel about where I've interviewed John Bramblett.
Oh, that's perfect. We need
Or
to
I could
go.
copy and paste what he did and put it in the chat. Oh, wait, or maybe I couldn't. Oh no, only I see this, so it would not be the only way for your viewers to see it would be to put it on the screen. Okay.
Or you can go to her channel and find out.
I can copy it and then come over to your channel and drop. Oh no, because I'm not a moderator, so I can't drop links in your.
No, you can. I can do you moderator, but I don't know. Yes, I can do it. Okay, I cannot do moderators here.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, so
I think it's because I am a host in your channel. So
oh my goodness. What Paul said, because I thanked Paul and he said, of course, Diana, anything for you, Diana, the ultimate love warrior. Yeah, that's because he's making reference to the warrioress of love painting that I painted, and Redheaded Riding Hood bought it. She purchased it. The which is a red-headed warrior of love.
Oh. So I made some more backgrounds because I want to do different things and I'm out of pages. But I wanted to talk a little bit about being your own observer. Because one of the things that Lexi said, and also Anina, is that people with, we call that, not we, the world called that now, invisible illness.
Oh, invisible disability.
Disability, yes, invisible disabilities. Why? If I won't go out with my wheelchair, everything know that I have some kind of disability, okay? But if I can do it without it, they didn't know. It's not something that you notice like easily, okay? But that's why they talk about that. Even in the airport in Madrid, it was like I was in the part of disabilities that they help you, and it was a sign there about the invisible disabilities, and if you have it, let us know, so you are going to accommodate the things to you. That was for me so perfect. And also the name, because the name is something that gives you like other label. People know that that exists, and you don't need to go out with that or tell everybody. Okay, you can tell I have an invisible disability, and that's it. I started to talk about my father and his vision. So, being colorblind all his life, he overcome that and did whatever he wanted to do, and he was good at that. And when he was in his last years, he also, oh, I will watch it, Diana says, Anina. I get the link in her channel. So he started to have what it called maculopathia. That it's like a hole,
Oh yeah, macular degeneration maybe.
yeah, and started like light, like a little hole. He saw like a little point, a little black point, and after that, it was uh, bigger and bigger and bigger. So he had one eye that he couldn't practically see, and the other he saw really less that because he had a hole in the middle of the eye. So let's change. I have another one here. So the thing is that my father still wanted, it was retired also, and he wanted to continue do something. And he was an artist a lot of years. So he blew up the, let's say, or blow up in a printer, like he print, but really big, the photograph, the reference
Mhm.
photograph, or he put it in a computer so he could enlarge it by parts. And that's how he continued doing art. And
Ah, similar to me.
yeah, yeah, he was similar to you. He, for instance, he couldn't see the television.
Right.
So he bought, we are talking about technology then, he bought a projector. So,
Okay.
so he could see really big on the wall. Before he died, he also bought a really big TV so he could read CTV. And unfortunately, when he was in the hospital, my mother received it and put it, and everything was ready, but he couldn't see it. He died before. And
Oh.
but he was so he was happy that my mother will be using that he left that.
Oh.
And yes, that was really good. But I remember always, I told you that the part of the, uh, how do you say in English? Like the relation with you that I have, but it's not only the relation, it's the connection that I have with you. Part come from that.
Oh, I see.
So I had another problem in the life is that I had like a overall vision of things to come. Not visions, but I knew all the time. Maybe I did a good analysis of the situation. I have so many elements. Hi, Belinda. How are you? Belinda is here and says, hi, Diana.
Oh, hi, Belinda.
Okay, the thing that I wanted to say is, let's see what happened with that. I struggle with that because my the other people started to, first of all, it wasn't something that I could say to everyone. See, it was something that I kept to myself mostly. But sometimes I did say something, and that happened after all. So people started to see me as a, you see, I have depression. I didn't wanted to be around people. When I was around people, I told them the things so accurate. I read them so accurate that two things happened. One of them, it was that they, oh, sorry. One of them was that people saw me as a weird. They didn't believe at first. Then when that came being real, so they were like distant or whatever. And with time, the other thing that happened is that people that were really needy, they glued to me and they wanted all the time to be with me so I can tell them what I see to help them to overcome their limitations.
Oh, and
Yeah,
that was too much for you?
that
Like
was too
a
much.
burden?
One thing is, if I say something without me believing it, that because the thing is, you don't need to think that you are special. Okay, if what you have, you can give something to others, and that's good. But it's not more important than whatever other people could do. But because it's not so common, people tend to see it as a special thing. So
I think that word in English is empath. You're empathic?
part of it, yes. Second of that, I did my own therapy because I had a combination of paranoia and other things. So that things were things that I couldn't bring that to a specialist or to others because I had paranoia.
Oh.
So I didn't want to. I didn't confide in people. I didn't trust them.
Yes.
So I needed to do to myself therapy to get out of or overcome my limitations. And because of that, I have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge that I didn't have it at hand all the time. But when someone went, let's see, for me, it was more problem solving. Is the way I am overcome my limitations. I see them
Oh, yeah. I agree, yeah.
a problem that I need to solve. That's
And
all.
it's to live in the solution instead of living in the problem.
Yes. And something else. What's a problem that don't have a solution? It's not a problem. It's a fact. And you need to live with that fact.
Oh.
You see? So I had the ability to see, first of all, to do that to me, I needed to create a fictitious part of me that it's the observer. So I say things to myself and then I think about it because the phrase I use, it's a phrase that stand up or stood up. Okay? In the phrase I gave to me, I have the solution. It's only thing that be your own observer. So I needed to take out of the things what I call the significant. Let's say I'm depressed. That's a significant to a lot of things that happen to you. So let's say I have no strength at all. That's one of the things that happen when you are depressed, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have strength, you need to think about what can be uh, something that give you strength. So you can think, what when I have strength, what give me, what sustain me? Then you start, because for everyone it's something different. So sometimes I remember when I was a teenager, I was in bed like 15 days. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to get up from the bed. Didn't want to do a shower, anything. My parents said, depressed. And they called my uncle, that it's a doctor. And my uncle came and he checked me. He did like that to check my eyes inside my under eye. And he said, please, I am going to order some labs. Please do that. He knew. He knew what I had. When the labs came, he came and he said, she is not depressed. She is anemic. And it
She's
was
not
like that.
depressed. She's what? She's not depressed. She's what?
Anemic. Anemic.
Oh, anemic.
Anemic, sorry. So I did the treatment. I started to eat whatever I need to eat. I did the treatment with what that hierro, and I was okay. So
Oh.
yes, I were anemic, Belinda. So sometimes it's the body and his physiology is so important to take like in consideration because you are one. Yes, someone could have been, uh, let's say, something that could in life give you depression after. Someone come and blow in your face, boom, 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 like that, and you don't know what to do, and you are maybe little, maybe don't have the elements inside to fight that, and then you retract to yourself. Why? That's called depression, yes. But what you did is go inside to grab some elements, or to think about the elements, or to find elements so you can overcome that. Because of the stigmas, they said you are depressed, you stay in that stage, you don't go further. And that's very important. You don't need to stigmatize yourself. Yes, you can have some disease, You could have or had in the past some experience that are really bad experience, or maybe they were not so bad, but you didn't have the elements to fight them then, so it became a bad thing to you. That's why you don't need to judge yourself. You don't need to put everything in the emotional thing. You don't need to put everything in the physic, because they are one. And then never mind where you find the solution. You can find the solution very easily in a print. You see, the problems are in front of you. Why? Because you put paint, that it's like put the emphasis,
Yeah, your attention. You put your attention there.
attention in what you don't have,
Oh
or
yeah, it's like
in the lack of.
oh
That's
yeah.
very,
So focusing on instead of focusing on scarcity or lack, you focus on abundance.
yes, like for
Focus on
instance,
what you have.
what I find out of myself lately, because I want to be in more than one stream, because I love them both and I think I can do it. And I started to do it, to put in my iPhone one stream and in my iPad another one. And Maxi said, laughing when I bought the computer, he said, well, now you can be in three stream at once. And he's right.
Yeah.
That's because my brain is always and needs something to do. And when you have, we call that already, so I'm going to say depression, paranoia, or whatever. In you don't need to be paranoid to have a little bit of paranoia. You don't need to be depressed to have a little bit depression sometimes. You see? But if you
Yeah.
stigmatize yourself, so you will have that. I think, I don't remember who said it, but it was a very famous philosopher of the Antigüedad, antique one, that he said, "Oh, Tutu is here. Hi, honey. How are you?
I
Hello."
do too.
So he said, I think it was Socrates. He said,
Wait, excuse me. You sounds like you have music in the background.
"It's not music. It's my. I didn't thought you can hear it. It's the air dry."
Oh,
Maxim,
as long as it's not music, because because
ah,
they're very sensitive on picking up
I
music,
know,
and
I
then I
know.
would get a copyright
Yeah.
claim.
So maybe you can get the copyright on
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Actually, it's not a
air
big deal.
dryer, air dryer.
Oh no, and even if I did, I get it's not really. It's not a
No,
big deal.
no, 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 it's not music. I know the rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was talking about something, and you threw
Oh,
me out.
I
So
forgot. I didn't. Sorry.
now you need to tell me.
I know. Now I forgot. I forgot. What were you saying?
Okay, what I was
Somebody
saying.
in the chat, remind us.
Yes, please. If I don't remember first, please, please, please.
What when I just said that? I'll look in my chat. I bet somebody knows. Hold
No, no,
on.
it's okay. It's okay. I was talking about the things that happened. The Socrates. Yes, Socrates. So Socrates said, nothing of the human is strange to me. What he wanted to say is that we have inside or outside or whatever, as humans, we are capable to do anything a human can do. That means that we have depression in ourselves, we have joy, we have ego, We have so many things, and some of them are considered bad things. It's like the thing that money is good or bad. It depends on the use that you do of them. It's the same with our.
Oh, right. Yes.
If I have cold and I didn't put a sweater, I am doing something against me. That's bad. But if it's summer and I put the same sweater, I'm doing bad things to me. So is the sweater bad or good? It
Uh,
doesn't matter.
it
Use it
depends on
when
the
you need
context. On the context.
it, of course. So whatever we have inside, if we learn to use it to our advantage, to use it in a context that it's okay, that's all that matters. If I am with someone that is very effervescent and talk and talk and talk, if I talk over him, it's no good. So it's time to exercise our depression. Even though it's a bad word, it's not a bad word because we need to retain ourselves to talk. We need to hear, and then it will be our turn to say something. But if we that time come, we said to ourselves all the time, I cannot talk, I'm so introverted, I cannot talk.
Yeah.
When the
Well,
time comes, you're not going to talk.
we
And
know
Nina said,
somebody. We have a family friend who always says, "Oh, this job's going to kill her. This job's going to kill her." And we're telling her, "Stop saying that." And she's been saying it for a few years now. "Oh, this job is just going to kill her. It's going to make her sick. It's going to kill her." And we keep telling her, "You could bring that about." And we tried giving her a book about this, about how you can talk yourself into getting sick and stuff. And she's not listening.
Anina said that we are constantly learning ourselves better to look after ourselves. That's correct, Anina. I think that there are so many wonders in the world. For instance, since 2021, I think 3 years ago, let's say for argument's sake that it was 3 years ago, I started to have a problem with my walking and my being standing. So at first of all, I didn't have diagnosis. Then I didn't have medicine or whatever. I was in pain constantly. I couldn't even change the like my move into my bed, and it was terrible for me. And from that, I needed to think about that and overcome. But how could I do that? Because at the same time, I relied on Matsi, for instance, and he started to do things for me. And after time, I went to the like social security and present all my paperwork, all my uh, sorry, Anina says, Diana, that was a male once, not now. He looks like a she. So good. Oh, I think
Oh,
he's
is she
talking.
talking about my artwork?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you. Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
see what I have here. It peeled the paint that was in the on the stencil and put it here. So good. And this is not so much, so let's do it here. Something will appear. So I think that the thing is tolerance. We need to tolerate ourselves
And forgiveness. Well,
and
I don't know.
forgiveness.
Tolerance and forgiveness often go together.
Yes, yes, but it's okay if you say forgiveness is one of the things. You see, we need to. Sometimes we think that others are better than us. Oh,
Oh,
that
comparison.
yes, that's a comparison. And sometimes we say that our present stage is worse than what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And really doesn't matter what it was because I am almost 64 years old. I cannot think of me as I was at 20, 28. I was in a different stage of my life. I have limited knowledge comparing to what I have now. And for instance, I was working before I had that problem. Oh, sorry, my back is killing me talking about limitation today. I need something here to put my arm also. Okay, so what one of my limitation now is that I forget what I'm saying, and I need to live with that. And maybe in the future, even I am going to have some things that I don't know if I can always have when I talk about something put. I'm thinking by the top of my head. It's not something that I was thinking or I give it a thought thoroughly. Oh,
Yes.
Susie said that we all experience that now. Yes, I know. I
We
know.
have a nice comment from Greg, Wisconsin Greg. He says, "Excellent advice. I think this conversation will be helpful to some listeners. Awesome live stream. Thank you, Greg."
Thank you so much, Greg.
And don't forget things. Only you guys. I only have 4 thumbs up. We need 10 thumbs up for the first happy dance.
Oh, yes. But we have only 7 people. Well, is that what I see? But I think I see the overall people, not only mine. So, yes, share this. We have 40 minutes, so tell others to come. The thing is,
Yeah, share this out, Greg, if you can, and other people.
yes, Greg said something so important because I always said when I talk, I tend to be in the background. I don't know why that happened. Maybe in English it's not my language, so when I express myself in a chat, what I want to say is not what everybody is reading. Maybe a chat is not a place, but I have lived that in my own family to be there. Okay, we don't hear you. Whatever you say is not good or something
It's
like
not
that.
important.
Yes. So I think that part of that you have with you because it's inherent to you. Okay, but when people don't hear me, I said to myself because to not let that put me down, I said to myself, I don't need them to hear that because I already know that. So if they want to hear, that's okay. If not, I know that anyway. So I have the experiences, I have the learnings. I know they can be, it's proof. It proved in my own life. So I can tell it if to someone it's useful, perfect. If not, I still will know that. So it's so important for me to hear that Greg or Anina or anything else. I don't want to tell specific people, but if they tell that was useful or that will be useful for me in the future, maybe, or we have a saying in Spanish and I have the same saying in Hebrew. I didn't knew that saying in English. Maybe it is. It's like when do you remember, some of you maybe, Raul, no? Do you remember the payphones?
Yes.
So in the payphone, you put the coins or whatever in your country is working with a payphone, and you put all the coins you need for the conversation, but the coins only go down as they need it. They don't go all down in one. You put three, let's say. One of them go down, and you have so minutes to talk. And if you want to continue because you put more, so it fell another one and another one whenever it's the time. So we have a saying that is that the coin went down. Sometimes you have a lot of things, but you don't need them or you cannot reach them. So let's imagine if the same payphone that someone put a paper on it and you put the coins, but the coins don't fall, so you cannot have the conversation. So that's the same. Sometimes the coin falls, and then you open your eyes and say, "Ah, now I understand." And Belinda says, Mashu, something, sorry. Sometimes we just need to talk to express what we are feeling. And Belinda says, yeah, yes, I remember the pain phones too. Thank you, Belinda. I'm not alone. And yes, we don't have more uh, messages. But I think that's important too. You don't need to change all in one time because maybe you are not prepared. Maybe to do this, I needed to have first the first layer, the second layer, and then my third layer have meaning. But if I do the same in one page like that, let's say I did it that, but I didn't put some other things in that. If I do with that, I will not have the same result. So that's all things to think about it. I know I put, oh, Patricia is here eating lunch as I watch you. I need you in my life. Oh, I need you in my life, Patricia.
Hi, Patricia.
I was thinking a lot of you because finally I finished one of the hats I'm doing for you. I know it's a summer yarn what you sent to me, so I don't need to run. I can walk, but I was really afraid that with the war the parcels don't go out properly, so that also give me some time to do it. And as we were talking here, that's one of the things that I am multifaceted. I do many things at the time. Like I can do it, something like that I did when we talk about mate, and I so love it. And this is soft clay, and I can do something like my houses, or I can do a jelly print, or I can do a stencil, or I can crochet. And all depends. So I have a lot of opportunities to do whatever I really want at the time. And Ina said something. I'm right now not in a depression phase. It comes and goes. I share it simply to be open, and that's a real struggle many people have. And you don't need to share, but you also don't need to hide. Yes, that's so perfect. And listening to you, to Diana, simply tells me I'm not alone with the struggles, even they are different. Patricia said, "Hello, Diana. You have mighty fine painting mask there." She's talking about your background, I think.
That she said she had mighty fine what?
Mighty, you have mighty, I think, a mighty fine painting mask there. Tell
Thank
her how you do it,
Oh, thank you.
how
Oh
you came
well.
up with
Oh well.
background.
Okay. Well, a lot of times with the background, if I have paint left over on my palette, off either with a paintbrush or often with a palette knife, I scrape the extra paint off on an art journal page, which is always mixed media, and I always have it in a spiral journal so that it'll be easy to take out if I want to use this as a standalone painting, and scrape the extra paint any way I want in the art journal, and then go back in and then make that starts the background for me. And then I also like to do cathartic stream of thought writing. So in this one, you can see the stream of thought, cathartic, illegible writing, where I know what I'm writing, but I don't want it to necessarily be legible, and it's just illegible writing, and adds an element. I like that adds an element of mystery, a layer of mystery to my um, backgrounds, and also
Adina asking if you don't like your face anymore.
I
Not
don't know what
yours.
to do. I moved this aside because I didn't know what more to do on this one. I need time away from it to think about it.
Oh, that's so perfect what you said now, because sometimes with our limitation, we need time out to think
Yeah.
about it, to see it with a
And then
different
another thing
eye.
I do is I take a picture of it and look at it and look at the picture, and that often gives me ideas of what needs to happen next.
Oh, yes.
Actually, looking at it in a photo gives me ideas of what I want to do with it next.
Yes, I happened to me too. I used to take photos when I finish a stream or I finish working, and I see it's lift everything. I wanted to do backgrounds now because I am out of backgrounds and I have an idea. You will see in a minute. But anyway, uh, that's the observer, That's the observer I was talking about. You as an observer of yourself. In that case, it's you as an observer of your art as if it wasn't yours. And
Yeah.
we come back to the significance again. This is a sheet of paper, but for me, it's also the first thing my father put in front of me with a pencil to start to loosen out my hand in order to learn how to write, to draw. So this paper is also something that Maxi brought me now, and also is the papers that I have along my life in many ways, or the lack of paper if I wanted to write something on draw. But and the paint is what I intended to do. You have a plan. Let's say I have a plan with these two backgrounds. What is my plan? P is here, so I have here P's ring of madness. That is a stencil that she developed, she created. So now I'm going to use it honoring P. So let's do it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. too much honor here. I cannot put it inside here. Let's grab a spoon and take something out. I will use it after. So when you see it after a time or in pictures, as I used to do, okay, in the screen, you start to forget what your plans were and you see it more plain, like really for what it is. So your inner critic don't have a say in that.
Yes, I have a big problem with my inner critic. So, and also with indecisiveness and questioning. So that's why that probably, yeah, that I think that does help with the, like you're saying, somehow that just taking a picture of it and looking at it, somehow I think it distances me from the inner critic somehow. I don't know exactly how, but I think it might do that.
Yeah. And also, I know how to enter in a meditative state where the significance go out. See, that's a great stencil. Let's use what is here. A ghost print, maybe. And then you can see what you create or what happened to you, what problem you have, and solve it. Like if a truck full of apples go south at 20 kilometers, and you need to solve that problem. Good one, Miriam. I washi taped those circles together or myself. I know I was there. Well, not there, but I watched that. Then, with pressure for all of you out there, then M made it to what you have there. Yeah, I know. I know. I was there for all the process. That's why I think I love it most because I saw it become a stencil. And so you that
Davey says, oh, Davey has a comment. He says, Diana, I'm sure you can buy a large magnifier screen. No, I have tried everything, and I talked about the things that help me. A large magnifier screen may not even have enough magnification. In fact, this magnifier, which is my lighted magnifier, does not have enough magnification if I'm doing like the eyes on this face. Like it's good for the face, but not good in the magnification, still not good enough for the eyes if I wanted to go back into the eyes. So it's very tricky with how much magnification is needed. And maybe you got here late, but I talked about all the devices that I use that make it work for me. That one thing I have not tried and is a video magnifier. I don't know what a video magnifier is, and I have to go to the Eye Institute where you can try out devices. It's a place where you can try out devices near where I live, and I need to try out a video magnifier and see what that's all about.
I wanted to tell that I really appreciate Patricia as a human being, but I also appreciate her as a teacher, as a creator, as an artist. And I have the same feeling with many people that we know that we are in groups where we can develop and know other people.
Yes, I appreciate a lot of artists in our community.
Yes, and I try to support every artist with whatever I can. And PM Artist Studio have a lot of things to offer, and I think all of you here knows them, but maybe someone in the reruns or is lurking, I don't know them. And so I wanted to present Patricia And I also designed stencils for them. Some of the stencil I was using today. Okay, this is one experiment.
I just want to say one time I was at a live stream and Patricia talked about how she does not like the word intuitive. She prefers the word organic. And I thought maybe she appreciated I didn't use the word intuitive. I used the word cathartic and stream of thought and stream of thought and stream of thought and stream of consciousness writing. I didn't say intuitive. I'm careful
That's
on
perfect.
using the word intuitive myself.
Yes, but again, if we talk of words, well, you see
Yeah,
what I
word.
do?
Yeah, you're right. I know, but I do like the word organic when she
Don't
said
put
she
a
liked the word.
word on it. Okay, I did an experiment here. You see, I use the these stencils that have uh, little balls, little holes, and when I didn't clean enough the first layer, and what I did is to put another, to take that out and put another one. So this one give me this. You see the balls, you see that, but you have another form here. It's not the same form. So I could talk about it so so much because I use the same stencil in another way. So maybe it's not what you are, but how you use it. Maybe, I don't know. What I know. What do I know? That's the word.
But you know a lot,
Well, I experience a lot.
a lot of wisdom.
I think so. Don't take yourself so serious. That's the other one. You don't need to. You don't need to fight for what is inside. You don't need to fight because I must think of me highly, but at the end of the day, I'm made of the same material as you are, as Greg are, as everyone in the chat are. I'm not made for a different material. Maybe I had different stories, and my story put me in different path, and I learned something. But you have your story, and I'm sure you have a lot to give. So we can be our own worst critics, says
Uh,
Linda. And
yeah.
Patricia says, yes, I'm agree. I'm in agreement. Yeah. So it's important what I say, or it's important how it resounds in you. I think for you, it's important what it touch inside. When whatever coin it freeing, I'm not important. And at the end of the day, that's important for me too.
Well,
I remember. Okay,
well, that I say that's the word humility. Wouldn't you say you're being humble?
yeah, yeah. I don't think of me of nothing special, but I did live some special things. You know what happened once? Talking about limitations and about solving problems. I was in Salta, in a place up north in Argentina, and I was there for 2 years or something. And then I went to another place. In that place that I was, lived a family that we have the yard were shared. So we know each other well. And she had little kids, and I have little kids. And the two kids of her were underweight with a lot of problems, and underweight in the table that they need to be, like they were not at the weight they need to be. They were the size, everything, and all with the same problem. My kids were so healthy, and we were really very close. And I had one baby when I was there, and my baby was like fatty, like every baby need to be. And she saw that, and she saw that my baby had a deposition. Sorry about that. That was like liquid, and she told me. She asked me, Miriam, how come you give him milk if he is with diarrhea? I said, no, it's not. That's the way a newborn have the kaki. It's that way. It's because the intestine and all the system is not prepared yet to digest. So you don't need you cannot give tea. She whenever they saw that, he started to give tea to the kids when they were babies instead of milk.
Oh.
So she, after a while, I was in another place in Salta, and I went to visit, and she had a new baby. And the new baby was fat, rubinesque, something so good. And she told me, you know, Miriam, why he is like that? It's because of you. It's because when I saw how you told me something I didn't know, and I saw it in the facts in your kids. So this time I didn't suspend the milk, and he is healthy, and things like that. Till now, because my kids were little and now I'm in the 40s, till now bring me tears on my eyes.
Oh.
It make me, and it wasn't me, it was her that was prepared to receive that, to see it. She was the one who asked, not me. I didn't want there like today and give a lecture. So I think all of us have the possibility to touch life, to be touched, and more important, to touch ourselves. And I think for me, I am going to continue with my jelly plating, maybe, because I have a lot lived in
Hi,
my life.
Emotion New Soul. Nice to see you here.
Hi. So believe me that it's a very, it's not a secret. It's something that I'm not now prepared to share. Okay. So I think it's the time because of the subject, but it's not my time to share like freely. I don't hide that. I all the people around me know that if the opportunity presents. But because of that, I had all the problems in my life, and that was my benefit. All that problems were the ones that with my because we all have a force of life and a force of death inside us, like the positive and the negative.
Oh, yes.
And because my force of life. It was really amazing. I was born without breathing. And
Oh.
at that time, my mother told me that I was in her womb about to go out, and they couldn't bring me down. So the midwife sit on my mother's belly.
Oh, wow.
And when I was born, I didn't breathe. So my mother heard water, and then in time another water. And at that time, to resuscitate the babies, they put them in a tub with hot water and then in a tub with cold water. And that was the method they have in 1960 to revive someone who is not breathing. So I think that marked me for life.
Yes.
My mother, after that, heard me crying. That she didn't hear me crying when I was born because I wasn't breathing. And that was my force of life. And it's very strong. And I don't know all, but what I know is that if I have something, I treat it as a problem to solve. And 10 minutes for you, baby. I cannot talk enough.
What? Oh, you're better at talking on a live stream than me.
Ah,
You're better at talking on the live stream than me.
I don't know. I am different.
But I just want to say I
It's
was
those
on the
things.
camera. I look at what I do on the same thing as taking it. So instead of taking a picture of this, I look at it how it looks on the live stream, and I noticed well the white wasn't popping as much as I thought it was. So the camera helped me see that the white needs to pop more.
Yes, that could be the other people point of view or the yours observer point of view.
Oh.
That's why I say if you can. I did a picture, a painting of one of the archetypes that
Oh right,
it
yes,
will be from 1 to 5 of February. It will be on auction
right.
in Diana auction site. That Diana maybe can
Yes,
put the site on the
Serenity. It's down below in the description box. Serenity Art Gallery
ah,
Serenity Art Gallery auction, February
perfect.
1st to the 5th.
So I did some of the archetypes, and one of them is the shaman. So the shaman predicts, Patricia says, Izzy will be home soon, have to prepare for her arrival. This was most informative. Remind me, and I will tell you a story about M as a
Oh,
baby.
bye, Patricia.
Oh, yes, Patricia, I will remind you and send my love to Izzy and prepare for her, and my love to you and M too. Well, tell to Brad and Van also. Bye, babe. So you know that it's very important because you know that there is different point of view. Bye for now, says Patricia. There are different points of view of one thing. Let's say that we have an elephant and you have around people and they cannot go out of the place they are. And one of them can see, another can talk, another can describe things, another whatever. If you ask them what did they experience with the elephant in front of them, every one of them will tell something different because it depends of their abilities, their limitations,
Yeah,
and
their viewpoint.
Uh-huh. The
The
view.
viewpoint that they're at, their vantage point of where they're standing.
Yes,
If everybody's standing around an elephant, the people at the one end are going to see this trunk, and the people at the back end are see his tail. And if they don't see the whole elephant, then they're trying to make a judgment about what are they looking at if they didn't see the whole elephant.
that's it. So, huh, I need to talk about it. We have 7 minutes, sorry, but everything point to that. When I have this in front of me, people will have a blank page. I see all the possible points of light that I can make pop up in them. So that's why I see a blank page, but I see all the possibilities. We are such a blank page. We have inside us and in interaction with the others and with the surroundings, it's so vast that we cannot reach all of it. How many billions or more than billions of points of light are in this paper that I can obscure or I can sorry, that needs to be fuller for me to do analogies with the paint. Okay, there. And then mix it. And then do something like that. And suddenly I have a face because I decided to highlight this point that I have here. But of course, we have others. And now, let's grab some paint. This is more. We have another face, like the other way around. And if I want to do something else of the same page with the same things I did, well, I don't find my orange. Let's grab this one. Suddenly, instead of a face, I have a carrot. So if I could do that with paint and with a page, why cannot do it with myself, my elections,
Oh, good point.
or whatever? Because we don't know everything. And something we are going to discover through our walking or during our walking.
Yes. That's what
I
happens
see.
with a painting. I can't plan a painting all out. And like I can the composition. Often I did that digitally and planned my 30 by 40-inch paintings out digitally. But once they got transferred to with the grid system, I enlarged them and transferred them to the canvas. It was not the same painting that digital as it was when it transformed into acrylic and collage. It was like not the same painting. It transformed.
And now I have two. I have replicated. So, yes, I think it's so important. Sometimes in my life, someone asked me how I know that, whatever I said. And I told them, you told me that. He said,
Uh,
how? I cannot. I didn't open my mouth even. But you brought me a problem. And I found the solution to that problem. But I found it reading your question or your problem. Because if I have a problem X, I will tell you in a way that if other people have the same problem, they will tell you in another way. And that way is, as I see, is something that is inside me and I cannot see myself. So I need a mirror to tell me that. And sometimes a mirror is our contemplation. Sometimes the mirror is another person.
Right.
Who put this subject? You put it, not me. I agree because it's a very good subject. But I took you. When I talk about you, about me, about everyone that is part of this. Belinda says another point of view goes
Hello,
in.
Mrs. V. She just got here. Hi, Mrs. V. Nice to
I am.
see you.
Well, we have 1 minute.
Oh, we only have
So
1 minute.
conclusions.
Oops.
Conclusions.
What? Are you saying something?
To you. I want to know your conclusions today.
Are you asking the chat?
No, you.
My confusion? What I'm confused about?
Conclusions.
Oh, conclusion. Sorry.
Bye, Pluto. Oh, she had a work meeting. Have fun, Pluto.
My conclusions about dealing with your limitations and your obstacles are that I work with them and around them. I'm trying to what else I'm trying to think what else to say. I mean, because I said a lot. I mean, I just wanted to summarize. I didn't want to go into saying them all over again.
No, that's what I asked.
It's being creative. It's being creative, but not being creative necessarily, because creativity isn't just about creating a painting and being an artist. Creative living means you're living in the solution, not the problem. And when you're faced with a problem or an obstacle, you are being creative about it and how you will how you will approach that, how you will live with that obstacle,
Yes.
or how you will deal with that obstacle. And you try to take creative approaches, and maybe you get help from other ideas from other people, and also or ask for guidance from God, from your higher power, and
Yeah.
look inwards for your inner nudges. Your inner nudges are a very great guidance for you in dealing with obstacles.
Well, so I only want to add, because that was perfect, that be creative, being creative, it's been a problem solver. And that's all. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Miriam.
And till next Monday.
Yes, every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And you are free to come back to the rerun and put in the comments if you want us to treat something that you want.
Yeah,
Whatever
like
subject that
suggest a topic. Do you mean suggest a theme or a topic?
Yes, yes. That will be perfect also.
Yes, put in the comments of the live stream underneath when the chat closes. When the chat closes, make a comment on the replay of topics and theme suggestions.
Yes. Belinda says, all depends on our viewpoint of what we see from the inside out. Perfect. I might add that sometimes the out, its influence on us to find a solution. Anina said, thank you, Miriam and Diana.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Okay.
It's your turn, Diana.
This time